Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's on DisneyPlus.com. A quick news update for you guys on Disney Plus potentially changing release days. But before we get into any of that, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So ever since Disney Plus launched back in November 2019, Fridays have been the big release day with all new originals and everything else coming out that day. There's been a few different ones here and there. We would release different shows sometimes a little bit earlier, but generally pretty much everything arrives on Friday. According to Grace Randolph, she says, I hear Disney Plus is spot polling to see if anyone wants the shows to debut on a different day other than Fridays. What do you think? And she goes on to ask, don't change anything, Friday but not 3 AM EST, or a new day, reply with your choice. So I think we're going to look first off at Fridays. I think is a really good day for Disney Plus to release content, gets it all out on the weekend, and it's been doing pretty well for them. However, the time slot generally at the minute is a little bit messy. Now, I'm going to be honest, for me over here in the United Kingdom, it arrives at 8 o'clock in the morning. Perfect time, I can watch it before I head out, and generally it's pretty good. You know, I've got no real complaints with that. However, obviously in the US, it's not so good 3 o'clock in the morning for those on the East Coast, midnight on West Coast. It's fantastic for those in Australia, they get it around about 7 o'clock in the evening, and then it's pretty good time as well for India, where about a third of people are. So the thing is right now with the time slot is it's good for someone, it's always going to be bad for somebody else. You know, people asking for it, well, I would like it at 6 o'clock at my time, so when it's convenient for me. Ultimately, they have got 100 million people to please. They're not going to please everyone. And the problem is, I think, is we've already seen with the release of WandaVision and also The Falcon and The Winter Soldier, the Disney Plus servers take a little bit of a hammering when the episode first goes on. So doing it at 3 o'clock in the morning US time actually means then it's taking less of a hit and they've got more chance to get it up and running by the time most people wake up. So there is a counter argument technically about when it's coming. Now I actually think there's some other issues with releasing everything on a Friday, especially now with so much content coming on. Now when we had 1 or 2 releases it wasn't such a big thing, but right now let's say we've got Falcon and the Winter Soldier and the Mighty Ducks Game Changers. What if Mighty Ducks came out on a Wednesday or a Monday? It's something a little bit different. That could be very interesting, might help increase viewership for that one there. Are things getting swallowed up because of, say, WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where things aren't being seen because people are watching that instead? Now here in the UK and other countries with Star, we've got an even bigger problem because we've got so much new content arriving. We are getting, you know, in sometimes 6 to 10 new episodes of series arriving at the same time. It's a nice problem to have compared to sort of 6 months ago where we only had 1. But maybe had they split all the Star content arrives maybe on a Wednesday and then the Disney Plus stuff arrives on a different day, or maybe even just spread it out a little bit. Different days getting different things. For example, in this month on Earth Day, on a Thursday, we're getting the new Secrets of the Whales documentary. So they have done it in the past, and they're going to be doing it in the US pretty soon with the 3rd season of Gordon Ramsay Uncharted, where they're going to be getting them the day after it airs, so they'll be arriving on a Monday. So they're already kind of shifting things around. Now this doesn't necessarily mean they're going to change the strategy completely, but it might mean that they're starting to look at feedback, see what happens, see if things can be moved around a little bit. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think the time slot is never going to be good for somebody, and they've got to take the technical issues in. I think the 3 o'clock in the morning is not the best time to do it, I'll be honest. You know, if it was a little bit later, you know, it was ready for Europe for in the evening, that's not a bad thing as well. But ultimately, you know, I think as well as that, it's just getting too much out there at the same time, especially when we're going to start having 3 or 4 series dropping on the same day. It's a little bit more difficult of what people are going to be watching. So I don't think it's a bad idea for them to spread them out. You know, they don't do that with television. They don't put everything on just one night and they don't do anything the rest of the week. They spread it out a little bit. But let me know in the comments below if you would like to see Disney Plus spread the content out a little bit onto some different days or just move it entirely. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow and subscribe. Also a huge thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and also on our YouTube channel memberships. And I shall see you guys in another video. Laters.